Welcome to SU Libraries. Today we're going to explore using the ERIC database for education research. Since the best place to start is the SU Libraries homepage, it's easy to get there from the university's homepage by adding /libraries to the URL, or simply click on Libraries at the bottom of any university web page. And our homepage will look like this. In this video, we'll give you an overview of ERIC, which is one of the more important education databases offered by SU Libraries. ERIC stands for Education Resources Information Center. It's an authoritative database of education literature and is an important tool for education researchers of all kinds. Upon completion of this tutorial, you'll be able to learn the scope of ERIC, navigate to the ERIC database via the free.gov website and the SU Libraries EBSCO website and recognize how they are different. Understand the differences between an ERIC journal and an ERIC document. Conduct a search strategy. Download an article from ERIC and use the ERIC thesaurus. ERIC is one of the largest education databases in the world, containing over 1.6 million records. Included are journal articles, books, research papers, literature reviews and bibliographies, conference papers, technical reports, policy papers, government documents, dissertations and theses, audiovisuals, directories, and course syllabi and lesson plans. These date from 1966 to the present, cover all education subjects, and contain nearly 750,000 full-text documents, which you can download and save. The eric.ed.gov website is offered for free public use by the Institute of Education Sciences at the U.S. Department of Education. In the EBSCO version of the ERIC database offered by SU, the same search results will appear, but you'll get more links to full-text items that we subscribe to outside of ERIC. The net result? There are fewer full-text links in the .gov site and more in the SU version. So that you better understand the content of the database, each ERIC record is assigned a unique EJ or ED number. EJ numbers refer to articles published in scholarly education journals, while ED numbers refer to all other types of non-journal documents. So you're probably asking yourself, why is this important to me? Well, if your instructor or your assignment requires the use of scholarly peer-reviewed articles, it simply means you should focus your search on EJ records that are peer-reviewed rather than those with an ED number. All right, now that we understand the content of ERIC better, it's time to access the SU databases and conduct a sample search. Starting on the SU Libraries homepage at /libraries, look for the search box and click on the Databases tab. You may type ERIC in the search box or click on the Browse Databases by Subject or Name link, which we're doing here. This will open a new A to Z databases page where you may search for ERIC and click on the database title to open the database in yet another window. Now that we're in the ERIC database, let's conduct a sample search using the research question, what impact does parent involvement have on literacy? Hopefully you'll have noticed the blue highlighting in the question. These are the major words and phrases within the question that have the most meaning. Hence, we'll use them as our initial keywords. A quick note on keywords. Don't be afraid to try alternate keywords in your searches. Maybe look for synonyms and try different combinations to find your articles. Also, pay attention to terminology found in the articles you read on your topic, and use those words to search ERIC. You may also use the EBSCO thesaurus, but more on that in a bit. We'll start by entering the single word literacy and clicking the search button. Literacy is such a broad term that you shouldn't be surprised at the large number of results, nearly 76,000. Let me show you how to quickly narrow this number substantially. simply by using the few of the limiters on the left-hand side of the screen. By checking off full text, then peer-reviewed, and finally by limiting the publication date to the last 10 years, or whatever length you want, EBSCO will recalculate the results downward to around 14,500. Better, but don't fret at this still large number. Our next step is to add our other keyword phrase, parent involvement. But before we do that, you'll need to understand how to best connect keywords in EBSCO by using the 3 built-in Boolean operators, and, or, and not, which are available as a drop-down list. And is the default. When and is used, the results contain all the keyword search terms used. In this case, the keywords literacy and parent involvement must be present in each item on the results list. If using or, the results will contain at least one of the keyword search terms. This is best used when you want to capture different words that mean the same thing. For example, elderly, or aged, or geriatric, all words that can be interchangeable. Not is used when you want to remove certain items from the results by entering specific keywords. To continue our sample search, we'll use the operator and to pair literacy with parent involvement, which effectively reduces the results from 14,423 to a reasonable 181 articles. At this point, you may decide to look through these articles for ones you can use. Alternatively, you could add a third keyword to narrow the results even further. To review an article from the results list, click on the article title. This opens the detailed record view. Here you'll find pertinent details about the article, but probably most important is the abstract. The abstract is a brief summary of the article. Instead of reading the whole article in this, what I call gathering phase of this research process, you can save time by reading just the abstract to determine if the article will be useful to your research. If it's not that useful, return to your results list by clicking on the results list link and check out other articles. If it is useful, you'll want to download the full text for later reading. But before we do that, here's a really useful tip. For each article you save, you can easily get the APA citation by clicking on the Cite tool on the right-hand side of the page. This will open a citation format window where you scroll to the APA citation and copy and paste it into a separate works cited or references document that you create. If you do this for every article you save, in the end you'll have all the APA citations for the articles you may use in your paper. So back to our article and downloading the full text. Just look for one of 4 links. HTML or PDF full text. Of the two, PDF is preferable, as it provides an image of the article as it appears in the print journal, with graphics and pagination intact, the latter of which is essential for citing the work. HTML full text will display as a web page and can be immediately printed, but it cannot be downloaded as a saved file, so try to avoid this if possible. Full text from Eric usually opens a new page from which you can download a PDF file. Linked full text will pull the file, usually PDF, from various sources. Once you've opened the PDF file using Adobe Acrobat Reader, saving a PDF article is as simple as clicking File and Save As and directing it to wherever you wish, a flash drive, Google Drive, on your computer, etc. One neat additional feature for only the HTML full text is the text-to-speech option that will allow you to listen to the article being read out loud. To access this, scroll down to where the full text starts on the page and use the Listen button. And lastly, if at some point during your research gathering phase you want to explore other keywords to use in your search, we highly recommend using the built-in ERIC thesaurus by clicking on the thesaurus link on the top blue bar of any ERIC page and enter a keyword you've been using in order to browse their thesaurus. Here we've entered parent involvement, And right away, we see parent participation and parent role as excellent alternative keyword phrases. So in a new search of the database, you could then pair literacy and parent involvement, or parent participation, or parent role to pull up new similar articles that may be useful to your research. That's all for now, and thanks for listening. If you want more information or have questions or comments, feel free to contact Stephen Ford or Mo Chakraborty for literacy study students by emailing us at saford or mxchakraborty@salisbury.edu.